And do you think we can expect that the president will speak with President Putin anytime soon again?
He's always been open to engaging at a leader-to-leader level. He knows how effective that is. He's obviously spoken with President Putin directly and candidly a number of times, including in person. I don't have anything to predict at this point in time. Where he's meeting with his national security team on a daily basis, getting updates, and if that assessment is made or recommendation is made, we'll let you all know. Go ahead.
As it relates to the 8,500 American troops who have been put in a heightened state of readiness in preparation to go there, has the president or has the White House heard from our allies, NATO allies, about the expectation or desire for any unilateral American troops to go to that region?
Well, the announcement was made, as you know, Peter, to be a part of a NATO force, right? And so all of these consultations that are been happening over the last several days with our European partners and NATO partners has been about that. 8,500 service members, troops who are at the ready. And the decision about whether they would be deployed would be made in coordination with our NATO partners and allies, including any additional discussions or requests outside of that. I would point you to the Pentagon. I don't have anything to assess for you.
There's no, to the best of your knowledge right now, that's the president's intention to work exclusively via NATO, to not send any troops unilaterally in any form.
Well, again, we're working through NATO to plus up support in our eastern flank countries. That is what NATO is there for, and we're committed to the sanctity of that alliance. Just to be clear, there is no intention or interest or desire by the president to send troops to Ukraine. NATO is a forum to support our eastern flank partners and countries, and that's what the focus has been on.
And given the changed state of readiness for that 8,500 troops that could go as part of this response force in conjunction with NATO, when should we expect to hear from the President of the United States about the situation as it relates to Russia, Ukraine, in the form of some public remarks to Americans about whatever sacrifices that might take in terms of U.S. men and women going there and the like, and anything beyond that?
Well, I don't have anything to predict in terms of public speech. Obviously, he gave a 2-hour press conference just a few days ago where he answered a number of questions on Russia and Ukraine, and we'll continue to do that. But right now, a lot of our focus and his focus is on diplomacy, is on engaging with leaders, is on having conversations with members of his national security team.
And then lastly, very quickly, the French president obviously has expressed a desire for the EU to be working sort of as the leader on this, as opposed to NATO leading the charge as the relationship goes to Russia and the negotiations go. Would the U.S. be comfortable with the EU leading those direct conversations as opposed to NATO being the lead?
Well, there are a range of formats and forums that have been ongoing, right? Including conversations through NATO, including conversations through the OSCE. I know that there are conversations that are happening through the Normandy format that are happening today in Paris, and we certainly support international efforts that take place in a range of forums. Obviously, NATO is a forum that we work with and coordinate with our partners as it relates to military support and how we're going to provide assurances to eastern flank countries, so that's certainly the appropriate forum for that. But again, there's a range of forums to discuss de-escalation, negotiation, including the Normandy format that's taking place today. Go ahead.